Hello everybody, I'm Tony Craig, this is F1 Grandstand and this is your daily Formula One news. It's been a day today, let me tell you. So we're going to have a full rundown of what's been going on in Barcelona for day 4 of that behind closed doors testing. But we have got some sneaky footage of some pretty cool stuff. So Newey's Aston Martin finally hits the track. Well, for a little while. Anyway, we've got some video footage of that, got some good pictures, and everyone is saying the same thing in the paddock. The design is very aggressive, but pretty damn cool. We're going to be looking at that. Now, the reason why I was a little bit late is because I was looking into some very juicy stuff on James Vowles might have got himself in a load more hot water over at Williams. You don't want to miss that story, let me tell you. It's an interesting one, so we're going to be talking about that as well. We've got a little bit of an update on what's going on at Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton did a lot of laps today, but also his race engineer. Some more murmurings about that. So yes, of course, if you're an F1 fan, you are in the right place. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash a like on the video if you do enjoy it. And don't forget, just behind that subscribe button, make sure you got the bell all icon, a tick next to it. That way you're in control of what you see and you can decide which content you want to engage with. And I'm so sorry I was a little bit late tonight. I know I set the timer to like a few minutes later because it has been a screwball scramble. I wanted to get this stuff on Williams together because it's actually quite funny and interesting. I think you're going to love it. But let me say hello to the chat. Busy chat already. Love this. Got Jaman in there. Yes, Jaman. Got the real videos and footage on the AMR26. I did see the AI stuff floating around, but no, we got the real deal, baby. Nathan's in there. Lovely to have you in there, Nathan. Reevesy, old guy chat, Kyle, Crackite, Gemma, queen of the chat, is in there as well. Drop tuned as always, love it. Yeah, loads of you in there. Brilliant. Sema's up as well. Brilliant. Sema's up having a coffee over there in Australia. Kyle, king of the chat. Brilliant. I'm glad you're all in there. Right, let me get on with the show. Right, so first of all, let's just get the quick rundown of what's been going on in Barcelona today before we get into all the juicy stuff. So first of all, what you want to know is the overview of Barcelona Day 4. Here we go. Shakedown day for Mercedes, reliable as ever. I'm getting a bit bored of the Mercedes story. They seem so far out in front, you know. Reliable every day. Lap times getting quicker and quicker. Kimi Antonelli going fastest. And then today, George Russell showing, hey, Kimi, get back in your box. I'm still the boss around here in this Mercedes car. So yeah, Mercedes, getting a bit bored of Mercedes. But obviously the big story, Aston Martin finally making it to Barcelona, finally getting out on track. But the thing was, they didn't get out on track until there was 45 minutes of runtime left. So they were locked up in the garage all day, and then 45 minutes left. The AMR26 makes an appearance, and it got a lot of tongues wagging. Yeah, but we'll get to that in a minute. So Thursday running. We didn't see Alpine, we didn't see Haas, we didn't see Audi, and obviously we didn't see Red Bull because Red Bull is in bits after Hajar put it in the wall, and they are waiting for new bits to arrive from Milton Keynes. So we should see them back on track tomorrow. Yes. But I'll start off with the amount of lap counts for each team that was running. So Ferrari managed to put together 170 laps today. Good news again for Ferrari, showing that reliability, which nobody expected, but 170 laps on the board. Mercedes put 168 laps on the board today. They've just been consistent. That German engineering not letting anybody down, is it? That power unit is looking very solid. Racing Bulls, 111 laps. Cadillac did 66 laps. McLaren did 48 laps. Aston Martin, which we'll come to in a little while, managed to put 5 laps on the board. Just 5. But still, they did make it out on track. So, let me give you a rundown. George Russell, unofficially, was fastest with a 1 minute 16.6. Obviously. And then basically, what else we got here? Yeah, so, oh yeah. Okay, so in the hands of Lance Stroll, the unpainted Adrian Newey designed AMR26 finally broke cover in the final hour. And then, as you can tell by the thumbnail, Lance Stroll got a red flag with a few minutes left. So we did 5 laps, and then the car was kaput. But before it was kaput, let's take a little look at it in action. Have a look at this. I'll show you this right now. The first look, I'll show you this again. This is the Aston Martin out on track at about 5:15, 45 minutes left. Looking all right, looking all right. And then 5 laps later, it looked like this. Unfortunately. Yeah. We don't know why yet, unless there's any news that's come out since the start of the show. But yeah, that's the current situation, and that's a quick overview of what happened with Aston Martin. Oscar Piastri did 48 laps in the McLaren today, and this is what he had to say. It was nice to be back out today, especially in the new car. There's a lot of challenges this year and up and down the grid, so it was good to get stuck in. We had a fuel system issue which cut our day short, but the team's working hard to get that fixed and back out tomorrow. So that explains the limited runtime, a fuel system issue. But I'm sure that's something I'll fix for tomorrow, so we'll get some good runtime. McLaren's technical director, Mark Temple, added the car is very complex, so we decided to bring the car back into the garage, strip it down to fully understand where the problem's coming from ahead of tomorrow's running. Very sensible. Alpine, Audi, Haas and Red Bull all set out Thursday's running and expect to be back on Friday. And obviously that's because Red Bull, it's because of the crash with Hajar. So really, an uneventful day for most teams, apart from Aston Martin, which we're going to get into next. Oh, I do need to show you this as well. Just before we do that, let me give you the Barca run times. So these are the unofficial lap times from day 4 in Barcelona for testing. George Russell out in front with a 1:16.4. He did 78 laps. Kimi Antonelli also in the Mercedes, second fastest. He got 90 laps on the board and 1:17. Now look, these times don't really matter, right? Just to be clear, but these are the unofficial lap times. Charles Leclerc, third quickest with a 1:18. Oscar Piastri with a 1:18.4. Arvid Lindblad, 1:18.4. Lewis Hamilton, 1:18.6. Liam Lawson, 1:18.8. Sergio Perez, a 1:21. And Lance Stroll's quickest lap in the Aston Martin out of the 5 laps he did. But don't forget, listen, Aston Martin, they were actually just, they were running systems checks, installing systems like you have to do first time out on track. And his time was a 1:46.4. So yeah, those are the scores on the board on this, unofficial scores on the board for this shakedown. But the thing we can all take away from this is Mercedes are freaking way out in front, I think, at the moment. But Bahrain, the teams will catch up. It's just Mercedes are in really good shape at the moment. Really good shape. And the interesting thing about today's lap time from George Russell is that it was under 1 second slower than the equivalent lap time last year on the same testing day in Barcelona. So the indication is that these cars could be within, because they were worried that these cars might be 2.5 seconds a lap slower than the 25 cars, but maybe they're going to be quicker than you think. Maybe they're going to be maybe a second slower, or maybe they're going to be quicker by the time we get to Australia. Who knows? But the big story, Aston Martin finally on track, but they did cause that red flag. Right, I'm just going to quickly check on that. I'm just going to quickly get on the chat before I move on. Merc is British engineering. That's why Audi says they're the real German team. Oh, Thane! Come on, jumping in. By the way, feel free, get your super chats in. We'll read them out. But yeah, Thane says Merc is British engineering. That's why Audi says they're the real German team. And he's true. But Audi need to Audi need to just calm it down a little bit. Audi have got some problems right now. Reliability problems. They do say they're going to get on top of it, but Audi don't really want to be firing too many shots at the moment. Jaman says, looks like Mercedes and Racing Bulls can pack up and go home, all testing done. Yeah, well, what's that for Mercedes now? I mean, that is 3 days. That is 3 days for Mercedes. They will be travelling home. You're right. Oh, gotcha. How long drop tune? Merc killing it. What was... Oh, I missed that one. Don't know what that's all about. Lance, Sema says, haha, Lance. Yes, it was Lance. But there's no Lance bashing yet, Sema. No Lance bashing yet. He did 5 laps. Then the car... listen, I had this weird thought. Because you know how Lance was the first to drive the new car? I wondered whether, like, Lawrence Stroll had got on the blower to Adrian Newey and went, Adrian, that car's my car and I want Lance to drive it first. It's his toy. And then Adrian's gone, oh shit, so Lance is out in the car first. Oh, all right, Lawrence, Lance can drive it first before Fernando gets in the car. Beep. And he's gone, right, listen team, we're gonna have to give Lance a go first. So we're not gonna go out until 5:15 tonight. And he can have 5 laps. So he doesn't crash the car so we can get Fernando in it tomorrow. And it's like... strange things go on in my head. And of course, Lawrence Stroll sounds like he's from Sheffield. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Lance Stroll went out in it first. Nathan said that front left had mad positive camber. Wait, I've got pictures actually. I'm going to show you some pictures of the AMR26. DT says, Tony, guess what? What? Kyle says, how does that make Newey feel? He's putting his reputation online, a true Adrian Newey car, and Stroll wrecks it after 5 laps. Listen, it's not Lance Stroll's fault. Kyle says, was it a wreck or something? I think it wasn't a wreck. No, I'll show you. Listen, let me just clear up the Lance Stroll stopping red flag incident for you right now. This is the footage, right? This is the footage of the Aston Martin. Not been crashed. He's just pulled it off track. No damage. It's a mechanical fault. What it is, we don't know. Whether it's software. I mean, the thing is, that Honda engine's done literally 5 laps on track. So we don't know. We know they were running systems, installing systems, I should say, in the first lap or 2. And then, yeah, it could be a software thing. But, you know, first 5 laps done. I hope it's not an engine thing. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if it's a Honda engine problem? Ooh. I don't think Papa Stroll will be very pleased about that. But, as promised, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at this AMR26. So, from the front, you can see it looks like he's gone with a pushrod suspension, but look how high these suspension arms. Everything that Newey's done on this car is... from an aerodynamic point of view, has been designed to within a 1/10 of its life. So from the front, it's more. I think we can see like some wild stuff going on with the suspension. But when you look at the side, look at this rear side pod, and if you look just on the rear engine cover where the exit point is, I mean. It's so aggressive. It's got the most aggressive, like almost like a shark's nose where the air intake on the side pod is. Plus the swooping design down the side. Honestly, there's not another car on the grid that's got aerodynamically looks like this one. Looks like Newey's. Will it look like this by the time we get to Melbourne? Well, maybe, but Newey did say when he was developing this car, he said, for him, the aero, he did mention the suspension. He said there was a lot of opportunities in the suspension. But he's been working on this since he joined Aston Martin. He didn't touch the 25 car. And aerodynamics is his thing. So it is quite interesting. And the rear, that's what it looks like from the rear. And you can just see, I mean, it's pretty stealthy, isn't it? And I think he's gone with a similar design at the rear of the floor with the cutouts going into the diffuser, which we saw on the Ferrari and the Mercedes. But it looks good. And I know it's all painted black. It's quite hard to get the details because they haven't launched their livery yet. And Newey, you know, he didn't want to give anything away, but the floor design's wild as well. Wing design's even, well, no, the wing design's fairly typical, I think, with this kind of Y-shaped wing at the back. But yeah, I mean, what do you think of it? Thane, Merc's good on Friday, overheating tyres by Sunday. Yeah, thanks for your super chat, Thane. It's easy, get your super chats in if you want. Yeah, feel very welcome. Thanks, Thane. Or Reevesy, oh, we're talking about why, yeah, mate, could be battery problems. What's the wild you? What did I miss, DT? DT said, oh, you bought an Aston Martin V8 Vantage today. DT, congratulations. Oh, very nice. Very, very, very nice. I'm so pleased for you, DT. What a car. My friend had one about 2014 Aston Martin Vantage. Gorgeous. His was grey with like a cream interior, and it was it sounded like a beast. DT, congratulations, you enjoy that car. Enjoy that car, my friend. Brilliant. So pleased for you, buddy. Very pleased for you. Amazing. We want pictures. But congratulations. Yeah, so it's everyone's excited about DT's Aston Martin Vantage, and so they should be. Oh, so you got a 2009. Perfect. Gorgeous. Matte black. Oh, glorious. Weirdly enough, the same colour as Adrian Newey's AMR26. Oh, yeah. Gorgeous car, mate. Brilliant. They just sound stunning, don't they? The exhaust note on those, absolutely gorgeous. And Droptune's got a PS5, so he's getting his sim ready as well. Brilliant. It's all coming together. Aston Martins, PS5s, we're going sim racing. And if you're watching us for the first time, we've got the best community. We've got a lot going on. Make sure you come and say hello in the chat and let us know where you're watching from. Really friendly bunch. We're all going to be going sim racing together as well. So, yeah, for F1 Grandstand Sim Racing League is coming very soon. But yeah, going back to the today's Aston Martin. Adrian Newey's Aston Martin. Looking at the design, it also from the fin down. It's that section under the fin at the back on the engine cover. It's the way he's channeling the air around this car. Nobody else is doing that, and he's got very aggressive cuts on the underneath the side pods going down to the floor. Super aggressive. I'm loving the look of it. I think it's going to be interesting, but obviously 5 laps is not enough, is it? It isn't. And the thing is, thinking about whether it was an engine problem. I mean, I don't know. I'm just catching up on this. I mean, Honda's, Koji Watanabe was being a little bit pessimistic, wasn't he, about the power unit? He said the electrification side is progressing as planned. However, that's not necessarily the case for the internal combustion engine. Those were that was Koji's statement. I mean, if this is an engine problem, I think Newey's going to be fuming. Absolutely fuming. Absolutely fuming. Yeah, I mean, it's we don't know, so we'll be speculating if it is. Hey Cyberhead, good to see you in there. But we'd be speculating if by saying it is an engine problem, but we just don't know. But it's definitely got the entire paddock wagging their tongues for sure. I mean, but this bit more positive. This is what it looks like on track. Before Lance Stroll wrecked it. Before Lance Stroll broke his new toy. No. But yeah, it's an interesting situation at Aston Martin. I mean, to arrive day 4, get no running time all day, and go out 45 minutes to go. It doesn't give me like tons of confidence in that mechanically they're really where they want to be. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting situation. Well, they're there. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Fernando's in the car tomorrow. Hopefully they've got all of their kind of installs done software installs. That's what I'm trying to say. And we will see some good runtime, because they need to put at least, you know, they need to put like 60, 70, 80 laps on the board tomorrow. Final day of testing. I mean, 100 laps if they can do it, but they need to get it done. Newey needs the data. Honda, more than anybody else, need the data for the engine, right? So yeah, a lot. Flatlander, welcome to the chat, my friend. Alonso, what's Alonso £1? I don't get it, Flatlander. Alonso £1. I think Alonso's volume. I think Alonso could. I think Alonso's Newey's greatest resource at the moment while he's trying to develop this car. Gemma says that blue flashing light is like the alternative to the warning emojis on my Mini. Yeah, Cyber Red, Aston Martin. They turned up, but they didn't start running till after 5 o'clock. You're gonna have to rewind. We're just in a big section on it. The Aston Martin was out on track for 5 laps with Lance Stroll driving. And then they got red flagged. They caused a red flag, basically. Broke down on track. No crash. The car just grinded to a halt. Yeah. Jaman says, you hope Lawrence does require Lance to get all day tomorrow. Could you imagine if he gets on the phone? Newey! Fernando's not driving tomorrow. My boy Lance is getting them laps. I don't know. I think they'll split it. I think they'll split it between them. And to be fair, on Lance, Adrian Newey has gone into bat for Lance and said Lance does give very good feedback. So, you know, fair play. But yeah, the Aston Martin first look, some crazy design cues. But, oh, Nathan says, I don't believe that. It looked like he hit something. I've not seen. Have you, Nathan? Have you got? Because the only footage I've got that I could find was this, and I couldn't see any damage on the car. Can you see any damage on the car there? It doesn't look like there's any damage on it from that video that I found. I think he's just. He could have had a spin, but I think I don't think he's hit anything. I could be wrong. I'm looking at the front. Am I missing something here, Nathan? At the front, are you winding me up? I'm looking at the front. I can see the wings in place on the front left. Yeah, I just think that's both. I don't think he's hit anything. So Cyber Red says, I think he drove in the grass again. Front left wheel. The front near side looks bent, Simon says. Do you know what? If it turns out, do you know what, Simon? And I'm being nice to Lance Stroll here because we normally, because you lot are always horrible to him. But if I'm wrong, and if it is Lance Stroll and he's hit something, then oh, God's sake. Well, do you know what, Simon? We'll find out tomorrow. We will find out tomorrow. Simon and Nathan, you might be right. Your eyesight's probably better than mine. I studied that video. I was like, I thought the car looked all right. Let's find out. News will be out tomorrow, I am sure. Yes, Jaman. Too many people only tell the boss and public what they want to hear. That's true. But that has, Gemma says, it's got to be a new record. 5 laps and he breaks the car. He breaks his new toy. I would have gone with that if I'd known it was Lance Stroll's fault. I would have had a very different thumbnail, to be honest. Flatlander says reference to his earlier Honda days. Sorry. Oh yeah. Oh, Flatlander. Yeah, of course. If it's a Honda engine, yeah. Oh my God, Fernando Alonso GP2 engine. Yeah, it won't be good. To Reeves, you can see it as well. Left front wheel drop tune. Something might have broken in the suspension. Ooh. Oh, I wish I'd had this story. I would have gone very different for tonight's show. Thane says the issue with the ICE is probably them trying to optimize it for the e-fuel rather than maximizing power. I mean, I don't know if anyone's trying to maximize. Is anyone really pushing the car yet? Mercedes maybe getting closer. Isaac Hajar probably, I think, got a bit too confident. listening to his comments after his great first day of testing, and he was saying, because Isaac Hajar, and before I move on to the Williams story, a quick one on Red Bull. Isaac Hajar, after day one of testing, was brilliant, right? Everything looked great. And then he comes out and he's talking to the press and he says, oh, these cars aren't too different. Actually, you know, really, you know, not too different to last year. And he's got to grips with it and he's playing with the boost and he's, you know, there's more driver controls that he's really happy with, gives him more control in the cockpit. All the other drivers at the end of day one of testing said, these cars are so different. Takes a lot of getting used to. And then the next day, Isaac Hajar puts it in the wall, right? So, you know, there's a situation there, I think. Maybe Hajar was trying to push for performance, probably, and that's why I end up in the wall. Right, I'm bringing up the video footage of the Aston Martin, the crashed Aston Martin now. Again, I'm trying to see it. The front left wheel. I'm going to try and... now I'm looking at it, it does look a bit, I mean, it's a bit out of focus. Let's have a look. I want to try and get as close as I can. So let me pause it there. You're right, actually. The front left wheel does look... If that's not a trick of the video, you're right. Look at the left wheel. It's the opposite. It's not camber, it's the other one. Yeah, you're right. It does look like it's kicked out. It could be a suspension problem, that. Broken piece on the suspension, right? Maybe you did hit something. Maybe you hit a curb. I don't know. But 5 laps, that is not ideal. You're right. Well, I don't think he put it in the wall. Maybe he's just... Maybe that's a suspension failure. Front left. Oh, I need to know now. I can't believe I didn't notice that. That's why we got a community. Eagle eyes. Yeah, positive cam. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. You're right. You're absolutely right. I missed it. You all saw it. My bad. But we'll find the news out tomorrow. But you're right. Now it is Lance's fault. Lance Stroll, it's your fault. You broke the car. You're going to get in trouble off your dad for that one. Yeah, good work. Kyle says, it's hard to search Stroll crash. There's so many results on Google. Stop it. Stop it. Joanne says, do you think Red Bull will have the car fixed for Max, who's the driver, will have a full day left? I don't know. Max isn't there, is he? Didn't Max go back to Monaco? Has he come back again? Is he going to be back for tomorrow? I don't know. I don't even know if Max is going to be back for tomorrow. He wasn't very well, was he? So... I know they're definitely going to run the car tomorrow because they said that the parts coming from Milton Keynes and they are going to get another... Max is back tomorrow according to Sudrich. Good. So, yeah, Max will be in the car tomorrow. The parts have arrived from Milton Keynes. Cyber Red says his dad will just blame it on the engineers. Yeah, somebody's getting sacked for this. That's not my boy's fault. Maybe. Yeah, it could be. But I've got to catch you up on the Williams story. So that's pretty much everything I've got on today's Aston Martin. Those are the pictures. That's the video footage. And I think you're right. I stand corrected. They're definitely, like Nathan said, positive front camber. Something going wrong with the front left suspension. But this is a story we've got to get into. So this one will make you laugh, I think, because I think we've caught Vowlesy out here with his PR offensive at Williams. I think there's more problems at Williams than you might think. Okay, so James Vowles, we need to start with the positive stuff. So Vowles came out today with another PR offensive. This is what he was saying. He was getting asked about how good the FW48 could be, because he was saying, look, listen, this is the best car since I've been at Williams that we've ever produced. And he said, in terms of the car, it's impossible to tell, and it's really not me fobbing the question off. It's simple that even now, though I'm fortunate enough to see what's going on in Barcelona, it's impossible to tell what's going on there too. I think realistically, the car itself is the best I've seen us produce here. Those are facts that I can put down. And then he goes on to say, he starts talking about, because then he gets asked about, well, tell me about this virtual testing that you're doing at the factory while everyone else is in doing real testing in Barcelona. And he goes into detail of what the virtual testing situation is. The VTT has been very useful, primarily on the cooling system side. He said, we've got quite a different cooling system for us here than we've designed and used beforehand. And it allows us not just current learning to make sure we use it effectively. We also have to remember we had some reliability woes last year. And I want to make sure that all those woes are gone, but also future learning on the sizing of it and packaging of it for future states. So that's been incredibly useful. So because he also goes into explain what VTT is. It's not simulator testing like I actually thought it was. What it is they have the car running on a dyno basically, or which is almost like creates track conditions. So you'd normally run a VTT, but not for the duration and period of time we are doing and on the depth of the program that we are doing. We are challenging the business. So aerodynamically, the car is a lot more complex than anything else we've put on before. In terms of design, it's a lot more complex than anything we've done before. So complexity, you do have to accept that the shapes are ordered, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. So I'm actually incredibly happy that the car's more complex. And this is what he went on to say. I'm confident we won't be behind for the following reasons. We've still got 6 days of good testing in, and it's normally dry. A dry Bahrain is in representative conditions. There are still 6 days there to test. Furthermore, we're fortunate to have the power unit by Mercedes and gearbox provided by Mercedes. So the learnings that they're going through the week in Barcelona is going to carry over to us. It's not where I want to be, resting on their hard work, but it's also stating that it's still an advantage. I'm confident with 6 days in Bahrain, we will run the program we need to. And that's why I want to do the virtual testing program instead of going to Barcelona. What I want to do is make sure that from the outset in Bahrain, we have a reliable car ready to go so that we're not sitting there doing what a lot of individuals and teams are trying to do in Barcelona, but not leave the garage, but we're ready to go. So he's basically saying all of this stuff is brilliant. We're all right. We've got the actual car, the real car on a dyno, simulating a run on track for extended periods of time, running the engine up, down, gearbox, everything else that you could think of, but in a virtual space, but with real components, real car. And that's what he's saying. He said, and he's getting all this advantage. And he wants everyone to believe that it's okay. We're not far behind. It's not a problem. We're not that far behind. It's not dire straits over at Williams. And that's the message, to keep the sponsors happy, to keep everyone happy that we're on track. And then, took me a while to get to it, but then we have this. So F1 fans fear that Williams are cooked after what Carlos Sainz has just done at their factory. And this is the giveaway. What's Carlos Sainz just done in the factory? So Sainz has been at the factory whilst everyone else is in Barcelona. And they posted images on X this morning showing Sainz completing his seat fit in the FW48. Like what? You're doing your driver's seat fit while everyone else is out on track in Barcelona testing their car. Like really testing their car. And all the fans will be going, bro, just got his seat fit in. Oh my God, what's going on? And then someone else put, are you telling me that you've still not done the seat fit as of January 29th? I'm trying to have faith in this team, but you're not making it easy. Another fan said, finally got the seat in the car. And one suggested, not the smoothest of operations, is it? The fact Williams shared that image of Sainz's seat fit while their rival teams were on the 4th day of Barcelona is crazy. One fan noted, everyone else is testing the new cars while meanwhile, you've barely assembled yours and you're just getting in the seat. Wow. Another fan also stated, the other teams are on their 4th day of testing and you guys are just finishing the car seat. I mean, what is going on? Like, seriously, what is going on? You can't put out a message. Everything's fine here. Doesn't matter that we're not in Barcelona. And then you got to sack your social media manager. As if you put out your guy getting his seat like fitted into the car, like that is so bad, man. It is so bad. Hey, Hooked on Classics, welcome to the chat, my friend. You are very welcome in this community. Just watch the Aston coverage. Yeah, car looks mean. It does. The design cues are crazy. Drop tuned, yeah, it does look cool like that. Like it looks good in all black because they haven't done their livery launch yet, have they? And I also think Newey's quite clever. He doesn't. It's harder to really get the teams to get as much information, I think, because they see the lines and everything when it's all black. Reevesy, that's like, so Gemma says that's like me struggling to decide what to wear whilst everyone's at the bar restaurant. Yeah, I mean it is wild. And Gemma says, yeah, Bottas did his ages ago. Well, Bottas did his seat molding fitting ages ago, but Cadillac were out on track ages ago. So they had the seat in the car ages ago. Everybody would have had the seat in the car ages ago. I mean, but it's to post the stupid thing that Williams have done is James Vowles all week has been on the PR offensive to try and keep it smooth because all of the sponsors are getting no pictures out, right? They're getting no airtime whatsoever. Everyone's getting the EBGBs about Williams going, oh my God, what's going on? Especially if you just sponsored that team 30, 40 million quid a year. Like, and the only car not to make it. Of course people are going to be getting like slightly upset about this, and then Vowles wants to make it believe because, well, it's a more complicated car than ever. The only mistake he's made is that they didn't have enough resources to get the parts made in time. It's not looking good. They are so far behind. Yes, they'll have 6 days testing, but posting a picture of Sainz getting his seat sorted out while everyone else is on track testing in Barcelona was just a massive mistake. And whoever was behind that really needs to be having a word in their ear, because you can't have your team principal out trying to smooth everything over and then do stupid shit like that. Basically, Hooked on Class says seeing an Aston Martin has been purchased and a PS5. You just bought an N64. Oh. I used to have a Super Nintendo. And by the way, Hooked on Classics, welcome to the community. But the reason why we've been talking about PS5s and Aston Martins, well, DT, just a big congratulations to DT for getting his Aston Martin Vantage. Very cool. But Drop Tuned has got a PS5 because we're going sim racing. And we're going to have our own little league. So whatever your setup is, if you've got a sim, if you've got a PC, Xbox, PS5, I've got PS5. We're going to go F125 and we're going to do some sim racing within the community, set up some Grand Prix. That'll be fun. So if you happen to be into that and you happen to have a little sim racing rig, you're more than welcome to join us. Old guy chat, probably a matchstick. What's this? Nathan says it'd be funny as if they're just sandbagging, but I doubt it. Well, that's almost, you know what you should say? You know what you said there, Nathan? If they're sandbagging, that's almost what Williams wanted, Vowles wanted us to believe. They said we could have been there, but we felt he wanted it to believe it was a tactical decision. Like they could have been there and it was better for the team and it was going to be a better decision in the long run. And there's nothing to worry about. We built the best car we've ever built, according to him. And, they're going to be fully ready for the first Grand Prix of the season in Melbourne. And they're going to be ready for the 2 testing sessions in Bahrain. And this was the right move. And I wouldn't say the drivers would agree with you. I just don't believe it. You got to get time on track. Got to get time on track. Hooked on Classics got a PS4. I don't know if you can play that. I know what, you'll have to check whether you can play on PS4 for the new F125 game. I'm not sure it is. Cyber Red says, that sounds awesome. I don't have a sim setup. I have a PS5 and F125. Boom. Well, if you're happy to, listen, if you can play that game on the controller, you're in. Yeah, brilliant. Because, but just to let you know, like, because you've got the expensive bits, the PS5, and you got the game, you might, I can tell you now from playing it on the controller and going, having wheels and pedals makes a big difference. Even if you've got a desk that you can put the wheel on and clamp it to and some pedals, it's definitely much easier. Yeah, but any rig will do. But yeah, you're more than welcome. It'd be really cool. I'm going to use the community tab to keep everyone up to date with that. And I'll do a little test stream, see how it works. I just need to get my head around it. Thing is, right now I am crap. I've been trying to do it as a simulator where I've got all the assists turned off, and I'm telling you, it's really hard. But I'm gonna get there. I need to pay a professional sim racer to give me some tips. That's what I need. The F1 channel had some good coverage too. Oh yeah, what on the Sims? I have to have a look at that. Sudri said it's so funny to me that F1 has been kicking people out of the track using helicopters to monitor people, and then there's one person on the helicopter taking videos of the cars on track and posting. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a mistake this time to not allow fans to see what's going on. I do. I think it's because it was 2014. It was such a disaster, Barcelona. But the fans are going to find a way to get some pictures, aren't they? It's all to do with money, though, isn't it? It's Bahrain. Yeah, it's Bahrain want to have the official look at the cars for the first time, but they've only got an hour that they're allowed to broadcast in Bahrain, an hour a day. So we'll see. We'll see what it's like. But yes, what else have I got for you tonight? But yeah, James Vowles, I'm unsure. I'm unsure about what he's doing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've got to cover this as well. So I did say I'll give you a quick update on Ferrari, because great news for Lewis. He's done 85 laps again today. And quick quote from Lewis. He says, when you come to the test, you always want to get a lot of mileage. Like today, I did 85 laps in the morning, which is amazing. And that's really down to all the people at the factory who've done such a great job to make sure the car is so far really reliable. And this is the important bit from Lewis, I think. Last year, we had a worse start to testing. So considering it's a completely new band of rules, it's better than we've experienced in the past. So I'm really hopeful that continues. And what I think is interesting is Lewis's language has really changed, hasn't it? He's really staying on the positive side of everything. He's really thanking the team. He's getting the team on side. And truthfully, he's not lying. Like that Ferrari, I know a lot of people have Ferrari bashed, me included, a lot in 25, and at the end of 25 I didn't hold out much hope about the engine. I didn't hold out much hope about the car in general, but so far at this early stage I am absolutely impressed with Ferrari's reliability. Right, the engine is working well, the guys are out on track and putting up those laps. So for me, I don't owe them an apology. I'm not going to say that, because there's other shit they've been doing which is still crap, but everything's looking pretty darn good. And one of the things that's been pretty crap is Lewis Hamilton not having a race engineer. So quick update on that. Grosjean was the McLaren performance engineer who left McLaren in December. He was always going to come to Ferrari, by the way. So that decision was already made. But it's looking like the leaks that come out from McLaren, I was convinced it was going to be Luca Diella. You can see the videos I've done on it. But the update today, whether we believe it or not, or whether it's just people like trying to keep the story moving, is that Michel Grosjean, the McLaren performance engineer that was joining Ferrari anyway, is earmarked for Lewis Hamilton's race engineer position. The problem is he's ready to come and wanted to come to Ferrari right now and ready to join. It's McLaren have got him under gardening leave for 3 to 6 months. So there's got to be a negotiation where Ferrari literally have to pay McLaren some compensation to buy him out of his gardening leave. McLaren could be arses about it. They could say no. I mean, would they do that? I mean, they might do, just to F with Ferrari. I mean, but they could say no. Because he's contractually bound to do his gardening leave, which means he can't go to Ferrari. So if Ferrari give him enough money, is he that important? I mean, Lewis Hamilton's race engineer is important, but is that individual that important? He was going to come to Ferrari anyway. but yeah, it's interesting to see how they are handling it. But yeah, I think what I actually think is this. I still think the race engineer position is not decided. Actually, I think there's two. I think there's two candidates. I think there's Luca Diella, who apparently is going to operate, who could be operating as Lewis's race engineer until Grosjean comes. Then there's the name, is it Carlos Santi, who used to be Kimi Raikkonen's engineer, who was supposed to be coming in as an interim to do the interim job as well. So he's definitely not going to be Lewis Hamilton's permanent race engineer. So I think the permanent race engineer positions between the two of them. That's what I think. And it's going to be interesting to see who finally ends up with it. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton, big smile on his face. I like the cut of his jib. I like the way he's talking. I like the way Ferrari sounds. I like the reliability. No major problems. And I think it makes me really look forward to Bahrain to see when all the teams like Ferrari and everyone else are trying to squeeze performance out of the car, to see where they're at. But so far, so good. But to wrap it all up, the takeaway from today is Aston Martin hit the track. Design looks nothing like anybody else's. Newey's been putting his hours in his shed. He's gone to work. Lance Stroll looks like he's crashed the car or something's happened where he's damaged, or the suspension's broke the suspension. Left front. Look at the footage if you haven't seen it already. We talked about it a lot. And yeah, Lewis Hamilton still hasn't got a race engineer. But Mercedes look good, right? Mercedes out on top. And I think that is your mini roundup for today. Thank you so much to everyone. Loved seeing you all in the chat tonight. So many new faces. Very, very grateful to have you all with us. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, again, I will be back Friday night tomorrow, isn't it? We'll do our 7:30 Friday night show. It's a bit more relaxed. You can drive the show, get yourself a beer, get yourself a glass of wine or a coffee if you're in Australia, and we'll all get together again tomorrow. And it's going to be good fun. But thank you so much, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. We're growing all the time, and new faces joining every day, and I love to see it. So I'll see you all tomorrow at 7:30. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ta-ta.